Okay, so we're back to our little trapezoid here. So again, here's my trapezoid, but we know now that it has this thickness also of 2 inches. So to find a volume, we're going to do the area times that thickness, okay? However, I can't really multiply feet times inches and get some unit that I want to work with. So I want this to be in feet. So again, think about dimensional analysis for this, because the tendency might be to think, do I multiply, do I divide, what do I do? Okay, well, I want to get an answer in feet. I want to know how many feet those 2 inches are. So I start with something with feet. 1 foot is 12 inches. Multiply by my 2 inches. Multiply across the top and the bottom, I get 2 over 12. Or 1/6. Okay, 2 inches out of 12, or 1/6. Okay, so if I want to find the volume of this patio, my volume is going to be the area, 12 square feet, times 1/6 of a foot. That's going to give me my volume. You can see it's going to be feet times feet times feet is going to be cubic feet. Don't get stressed about this part. Okay, let's just take away the units for a minute and think about this. 2 ways we can do this. We can either multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom, which gives us 12 over 6, which then can reduce down to 2 cubic feet. If you remember fractions also and how we can simplify them, we can also say, well, 6 goes into 6 once, 6 goes into 12 twice. We've essentially done this simplifying back here. So either way, we get that the volume of this is 2 cubic feet. Why do we need to know that? Okay, again, I don't know how much concrete to buy until I know the space that I'm trying to fill with that concrete, right? The volume. Okay, so now that we have this, now that we know that our volume is 2 cubic feet, your job is to find out the cost of the concrete. Okay, now in this case, I'm going to first ask you, you can figure out the cost, but there's a little bit of a subtlety here. So I'm going to first ask you to figure out how many bags do we need. Okay, so I want to find out how many bags of concrete. So I can use dimensional analysis again. Okay, and I can say, well, 1 bag is 40 pounds, right? We know that 1 bag is going to be 40 pounds. And 40 pounds will cover 3/10 of a cubic foot. And I have 2 cubic feet. You may also have just said a 40-pound bag is this, and there are my bags, okay? But, or 1 bag covers 3/10 of a cubic foot. There's a couple different ways to set this up. If I do it this way, again, my units canceled out. I have, if you just go across the top and across the bottom, I have 80 over 40 times 0.3 is going to be 12, and 80 divided by 12 is 6.7 bags. Okay. You may also have noticed here that the 40s could have canceled out. If you didn't, that's fine. You would have had 2 over 0.3, still get 6.7. Okay, now there's a little bit of a difference between this problem and the last problem, which is that theoretically, when you have a lawn care company come in, they're only going to charge you for the amount that you actually use. If they rip open that 50-pound bag of fertilizer and you only use 3 pounds of it, that's what they're going to charge you for. This part, they're doing themselves, okay? So they're going to go to Lowe's and they're going to buy concrete. They need 6.7 bags. How many bags do they have to buy? Can they get 6 bags in their cart, rip open the next one, take some of it, and leave the rest on the floor? No. So they're going to need to buy 7 bags. Okay. Now, it's not only because it rounds up to 7. Even if they needed 6.2 bags, they still need more than 6. 6 bags wouldn't give them enough. They'd still have to take it 7. So you have to really think about the context sometimes, even if you're rounding sort of what seems like the wrong way. Okay. So they need to buy 7 bags. How much is that going to cost? Well, it says in here that each bag is $6.50. So we're trying to find the cost. So it's $6.50 for 1 bag. We want to find 7 bags. You might have decided to just multiply those. That's okay. So $6.50 times 7 is going to be $45.50. Okay. Is that our final answer? Not quite. We also need to add in tax. Tax is 7.5%. Okay, think back. We've done this a million times this semester. Percentage of a number, right? Of means to multiply. We want to know what is 7.5% of 45.50. Change this to a decimal. Divide by 100. Move the decimal point over 2 spots. Multiply by 45.50. That gives me $3.41 in tax. I add these two together, and I get $48.91 as my total. Okay, so take just a minute to look over what we did there. So again, think about this part also, right? Where if there's anything over 6 bags, we need to buy 7. Even if we needed 6.04 bags, right? If we don't buy 7 bags, we're going to be left with a little hole. And as I said, it goes the other way also. Let's say we have a certain amount of money for a party. We want to know how many people we can invite because each person is going to cost a certain amount. We're going to the arcade. And let's say I have enough money to invite 6.9 people. Well, even though this would round to 7, I can't invite 7 people. I have to round it down to 6 because I don't quite have enough for that 7th person, right? So think about, just if it's just out of context and we're rounding, this would round to 7. But if within the context of some physical situation, sometimes we have to kind of think about that, about which way it would go. Okay, so that is lesson 3.3, the fixer upper. It's not the easiest lesson. There's a lot in there. So, if you have to go over it a couple times, make sure you're doing that, okay? I do have office hours Friday, 10 to 11. I also will see each of your classes one more time this week. So, feel free to pop into either one or both. And we can ask some questions. We're also going to do lesson 3.4, okay? All right, have a good night.